Question for Murph. Who we got?
No questions. Thanks, guys. This has been fun.
Kurt.
Murph, what would you like to see out of Freddie tonight that you didn't see in that first inning in Chicago?
Yeah. Heading the count, attacking. His 3 top pitches, clicking from from punch one, because, all these games are critical. There's no we'll give him a chance. Let's go. I think Freddie's experienced. He understands the lineup he's facing. They know him, and it'll be a good test.
Adam, third row on the right. Oh, who's Steve? Go ahead.
Jake Bauers got another hit yesterday. It seems since the start of September, he's been really on a tear. Is it just the shoulder, just getting a little healthier, or what's been the difference for him from your perspective last 6 weeks?
He's a sneaky, experienced player, and he cares. He cares a lot about the team. He cares a lot about, his opportunities. He's never really ever been a full-time player for very long, and he kind of found a home here last year. Did great for us in the postseason on his limited at-bats, and he's done the same thing this year. And like you said, he's been as good as anybody swinging the bat in September. So we're going to sacrifice a little bit and put him in the outfield, and we're going to go with it, because he's swinging it so good. If you look at his at-bats, they're just, wow, he's on it.
Adam.
Murph, for many years, Freddie was part of that kind of trio with Woodruff and Burns. What did you need from him after those two were, in Burns' case, gone and Woodruff out, and what have you seen?
Yeah, to just remember sitting with him in spring training, and you're the guy, you're coming into the year the ace, and the ace has to post, and that's what Freddie does best. He posts. He didn't miss a start, I don't believe, this year, and he's been sensational at just competing, and I think unquestionably this is his best year. Thrown a lot of innings, a bunch of punch, and what an example he's been to everybody, the way he's taken the ball each time out.
Let's go to the third row and on left here, and then we'll go back to the right side with Todd.
Murph, when you guys faced Yamamoto earlier in the season, knocked him out in the first inning, is there anything you can take from that game in preparation for this one?
It's hard. It's hard. He was getting his feet wet, you know what I mean? And that happens to every pitcher. But he's going to make the adjustment, you know what I mean? He's been really, really good. He's been one of the best 5 pitchers in baseball, and you look at his numbers are just incredible. Yeah, I mean, we've studied him, and there's days he's, like Snell was last night, lights out. But you have to combat it. And this is how you can't beat number ones like that if you don't have a strategy going in that kind of, even if he's really good, here's some ways we can knock him off course and maybe get him out of the game sooner.
Todd.
Murph, it's not uncommon for players to play better at home than on the road typically. Freddie's numbers are ridiculous here. What do you think is behind that? Just they're so much better at home than on the road.
I think that's probably the case a lot throughout the league. I think that's the case. Look at Matt Boyd in Chicago, right? Those numbers are eye-popping, you know what I mean? I think certain guys feel better with their routines at home and that type of thing, and that leads to better preparation. But those are numbers that you can't put a lot of stock in when you're making overall decisions. You know what I mean? You can't. They got to be able to pitch. If they can only pitch at home, they're not going to be helpful for you. I think it's more normal than you think.
A few more for Murph. We'll come down to the second row in the middle.
Murph, Jake Bauers talked just a bit ago about how the team
doesn't hang their heads, after a loss. They're they may talk about the game, but they are ready for the next day. What have you noticed about, your team and your clubhouse and how they've responded from losses throughout the season?
I look at it. I mean, we haven't had more than a 4-game losing streak this year, and last year we didn't have more than a 3-game losing streak. So what does that tell you? But at this time of year, you can't have either. You know what I mean? So it's got to click in very quickly. But I think the practice of responding, the practice of washing it off, is really helpful with such a young team.
Jack?
Murph, kind of on that front, was there a message that you had for your guys last night after the kind of pitching they faced, or do you just kind of wipe that slate clean and just start fresh today?
I think at this time of year, Jack, the more you say to them, it can be, there's guys in all different spots. So you're after the game last night. So there's guys in tremendously different spots. So to maybe meet with the position player group and talk to them a little bit, not after the game though, maybe today, you gather them up and, hey, look, you don't have to refer to yesterday, but remind them, this is what we do. This is what happens in these situations. Little reminders. They don't need to hear my voice too much. They've heard it for 7 months. I'm tired of it, so I can just imagine that they're tired of it, Yeah.
Kurt?
It's safe to...
Just local. I'd like some people from the outside. I talk to these guys all the time. I'm kind of sick of their voices, to be quite honest with you. Not yours, Kurt.
It was my wife. Is it safe to say Quintana will factor into Game 3 in some capacity?
Yeah, I would think so. Maybe tonight.
Go to Abby on the far right, third row.
Thanks, Abby.
You're welcome. If they're tired of your voice, whose voice are they not tired of hearing from?
I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm sure they're tired of my voice. But I think, we've got a great coaching staff. We've got a number of guys around that have been through it and have, we've got guys on the team, a Reese Hoskins, a guy like Quintana, who's been on it at different points in his career. And I think they really embrace the team. They love the guys, and I think it's effective to have a message through one of those guys, maybe more effective,
Come here in the second row.
Murph, the comeback fell a little short last night, but is there any way to take that energy from that ninth inning and carry it over to today?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the guys know that that's who we are. We're in this position because we've had that trait of being able to be resilient and never stop. So, yeah, I think it does. I think it adds to the game today.
Russell? Yeah.
Murph, do you think in a 7-game series against an experienced team, I know you talk about the youth on your club, the idea of stealing a game before you have to head out to LA, where that environment, you talked about the Chicago environment, do you buy into that sometimes against an experienced team you might have to steal a game from them?
Exactly. It's critical. It's critical. It's tough to win the game, period. The advantage of being at home, you got to take advantage. Like last night's game, you got to win that game. You know what I mean? They outplayed us in every way. They left 11 guys on base. We had 0 before the 9th inning. So if you're still in that game and then you get bases loaded and then you lose, whoa, that's a dagger in the heart, even though we would have stole that game. And in terms of overall play, we probably didn't deserve to win, but we did. And let's say we did. That's stealing a game, and that changes their whole perspective. So that little turning point there, we have to reverse that now. Very difficult to do, but it's all 9 innings, 27 outs for each team. So we got to be the ones that take advantage of that.
Any last ones for Murph? All right, thanks, Murph. We'll see you post game.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.